Well, one thing I knew from being a patient myself was that a dental office is a scary place to come to. And so we wanted everything possible to make sure that our office is a comfortable place for our patients to visit. The patients that I have, my clients, have made me a part of this community, and we want to give back in every way possible.
In Northwest news, a man in Idaho was killed after he was riding on the bow of a boat. Reporter Andrea Lutz has the story.
Friday, a tragic accident on Lucky Peak. 3 men took their boat on the water.
Out cruising along, and then one of the passengers decided he wanted to climb up onto the bow of the boat. So he stepped up onto the bow, standing up, while they're at cruising speeds.
Deputy Jones says the boat either stalled or hit a wake,
Which jostled the boat, caused him to fall over the front of the boat. And as soon as he fell over the front, before they could even come to a stop, he obviously went underneath the keel of the boat and ended up hitting the prop on his way out.
Jones patrols by boat on Lucky Peak during the summer and says bow riding is a common practice he sees on the water. He says it is very unsafe.
I think most people, when they come up, are, have safety as a priority.
This same afternoon, the Phillips family was also out enjoying the day. Dad Tracy says his family practices safe boating.
A couple simple rules. You're always sitting down inside the boat. Kids always have to have life jackets on from the time that we enter the water. When they're on the docks, they put them on and they don't get them off until they're actually out of the water, the boat's out.
As the summer boating season starts soon, Deputy Jones wants everyone to be safe.
We want people to come up. It's a fun place to be. It's a safe place to be, as long as you're doing things appropriately.
The Ada County Coroner's Office has released the name of the 22-year-old man who died. He was Wesley Matthews II of Kyle, Texas. The newest variety of apple developed by Washington State University is one step closer to supermarkets with the announcement of its brand name. The apple will be called the Cosmic Crisp. The name was chosen after a process led by Associate Professor of Food Science Carolyn Ross. Ross hosted focus groups in places like Pullman, Yakima, and Seattle. Participants were presented with a list of potential names to discuss. Ross says the new apple has little spots that look like starbursts, hence its name. Cosmic Crisp apples will not be widely available to consumers until 2019. The new variety was developed by crossing Enterprise and Honeycrisp apples. It has been pretty obvious that iFIBER 1 News has supported the Seattle Seahawks, and today they added one more 12th man.
President Barack Obama is paying tribute to the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks, congratulating players and coaches for their triumphs in the field and their contributions to their community. Obama welcomed the team to the White House today. The Seahawks clinched their first Super Bowl victory in February by beating the Denver Broncos 43-8. Noting that some football analysts didn't see Seattle as a top-tier team, Obama said he always roots for the underdog.
So Russell has won more games through his first 2 seasons than any quarterback in history. He also became only the second African-American quarterback ever to win a Super Bowl, and the best part about it is nobody commented on it, which tells you the progress that we've made, although we've got more progress to make.
The president congratulated the Hawks and took time to make a couple of jokes at Richard Sherman's expense.
I considered letting Sherman up here to the podium today. Giving him the mic, but yeah, we got to go in a little bit. So.
A Seattle surgeon accused of giving questionable testimony on proposed legislation has surrendered his Washington State medical license. Dr. David Heimbach, a former chief of Harborview Medical Center's burn unit, testified against bills in Washington, Alaska, and California that would have restricted or banned the use of chemical flame retardants. Washington's medical board filed administrative charges against Heimbach in March, alleging he didn't disclose that he was a paid consultant for manufacturers of flame retardants. The board said he told lawmakers misleading stories about burn victims whose injuries he claimed resulted from using products that hadn't been treated with flame retardants. The Beaverton, Oregon School Board adjusted the policies that guide sex education curriculum at its recent board meeting. A local lawyer who testified before the board said he is concerned about some of these changes and said parents in the district may get a real surprise when they find out what's being taught in the classroom. Reporter Cor Harlan reports.
Parents in different districts in Oregon have become aware of these things, and they're pushing back. And the reason they're pushing back is because it becomes a surprise.
Beaverton attorney Herbert Gray says at least some of what's being taught to kids about sex in Beaverton bypasses the wishes of parents who'd like to have their own conversations about sex with their kids when the parents decide it's time. He also thinks state standards for sex ed are not age appropriate. Beaverton has adopted state guidelines for sex ed, which calls for the following. In kindergarten through third grade, the naming of body parts, grades 4 and 5, identifying and defining sexual orientation as an attraction to someone of the same or different gender, and in grades 6 through 8, demonstrating steps to using a condom.
I dare say most of those things are matters that most kids at those ages have no concept of.
Should they?
I would say no.
I took those concerns to Beaverton School District.
Basically, what the board was looking at.
Maureen Wheeler with the district tells me the sex ed curriculum follows state standards. It was created with input from parents and does make allowances for kids whose parents don't want them learning about sex in school.
You heard from Mr. Gray last night, who says that, your rank and file parents don't really know what's in the curriculum, and when they have learned about it, there has been some pushback. Is that true?
We have not had any pushback from our parents, certainly. We have parents that do opt their children out of some curriculum.
And that's going to do it for us here at iFIBER 1 News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.